Every night I search for stories that blur the line between truth and terror. I'm the spooky Nomad, and I found another one. Today's story isn't fiction. It happened, and someone out there still can't explain it. Have you ever wondered what your baby monitor might be picking up when you're not listening? This story might make you think twice before turning one on. This happened back in 2016 to a young couple named Mark and Emily. They'd just moved into their first home, a small old house in Kent, England. It was charming, with its old wallpaper and creaky floors that seemed to whisper stories at night. Their daughter, Lily, was only 6 months old, and they lovingly set up her nursery with a white crib and a brand new baby monitor on the shelf. Everything was perfect until the third night. Around 2:13 a.m., Emily shook Mark awake. "Listen," she whispered, her voice tight with confusion. "She's talking." Mark, half asleep, assumed she meant Lily, but as they leaned closer to the monitor, a chill ran down their spines. Through the faint static, it wasn't a baby's gurgle they heard. It was a man's voice, a low whisper just beneath the signal. Mark grabbed a flashlight and bolted to Lily's room, his heart pounding. But the room was empty. Lily was sound asleep. The windows were locked. The door was bolted shut. There was no one there. They tried to rationalize it. It had to be interference, right? Baby monitors can pick up other frequencies like a walkie-talkie or a neighbor's radio. It had to be. But the next night, it happened again. This time, the voice was clearer, more distinct. It whispered, "Shush, Daddy's here." Emily screamed. Mark, his hands trembling, yanked the plug from the wall. They spent the rest of the night wide awake, huddled together, listening to every creak of the old house. The following day, Mark called the company that made the monitor. He explained what happened, hoping for a logical explanation. The representative told him it was impossible for someone to tap in to their specific model. If it were just interference, it would sound like random radio chatter, not a single, repeating voice with a clear message. This, of course, didn't make them feel any better. A few days passed in uneasy silence. Then, Emily noticed something that made her blood run cold. The baby monitor, which she always kept positioned facing the nursery door, was now turned, pointing directly at the crib. She tried to convince herself she was just tired, imagining things. But that night, the voice returned, louder than ever before. It said, "Don't cry, Lily. Daddy's watching." That was it. Mark ripped the plug from the wall, grabbed the monitor, and threw it into a box in the living room. They agreed, no more. It was done. But the house wasn't done with them. That very night, at exactly 2:13 a.m., Lily started crying. Not her usual fussing, but a piercing, terrified scream. They rushed into her room and were met with a blast of cold air. The window, which they always kept locked, was wide open, and there, pressed into the dust on the windowsill, was the clear, unmistakable handprint of a man. The police were called. They found footprints in the soft dirt of the garden below the window, but the tracks just stopped abruptly in the middle of the lawn, as if the person had simply vanished into thin air. Terrified, Mark installed a full security camera system the next day. They thought surely this would give them answers. 2 nights later, at 2:13 a.m. on the dot, something impossible happened. The unplugged baby monitor, still packed away in its box downstairs in the living room, flickered to life. Static filled the quiet room, and through it, that same chilling voice whispered, "You shouldn't have moved me." The next morning, a sleep-deprived and shaken Mark reviewed the security footage. He watched the timeline, his finger hovering over the mouse. At 2:13 a.m., the camera in Lily's room glitched. The screen went to static for just 2 seconds. When the picture returned, Lily was peacefully asleep in her crib. But on the shelf, right where it had been before, was the baby monitor, the same one he had thrown in a box downstairs. It was sitting there, perfectly positioned, its lens aimed directly at the crib. They moved out that week, They didn't pack everything. They left the furniture, the toys, and especially the monitor. They just wanted to get away. The new owners who moved in after them didn't stay long. And according to the local estate agent, every family that has lived in that house since has called the police at least once. The calls are always about strange noises, and they always happen at the same time, around 2:13 a.m. So, what do you think was in that house? Another case closed. Another mystery that refuses to rest. I'm the spooky nomad, searching for what's real in the stories that shouldn't be. There's always another one waiting, and you'll hear it right here next time. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more chills. Stay safe out there.